Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time doing another Halloween film review, and this one is on the film Splice. Now, as you know, the film Splice is a 2009 science fiction horror film that was directed by Vincent Natali, as well as starring Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, as well as being the story meant to be about concerns about in genetic engineering and the consequences and repercussions of it. Now, the premise of the film is meant to follow Elsa and her partner Cliff. We see how they basically end up creating kind of two large worm-like creatures, and they want to kind of create a sort of human-animal hybrid. We see how their managers, Joan and William, are openly against this and know the potential consequences of what it could lead to. So we kind of see how Elsa is kind of determined to create a human-animal hybrid, which she does, which comes with repercussions. At first, she starts a motherly bond with it. She starts to get to know more about it, which he names it Dren. And we kind of see how Clef is a bit more afraid of it and knows the potential consequences of what it can lead to. Now, at first, everything seems fine, but of course, there is going to come consequences to what is going to come. And I think the film has a bit of a message about not tampering with what God created, and sometimes it's best to leave what God intended alone. I would say the film has the same message like Hollow Man, like you shouldn't really tamper with what God created. It's important to leave things alone. I would say with Elsa's character, you can tell she has goals and ambitions, but doesn't see through her mistakes near the end, and kind of pays for her actions, as well as the repercussions of what it can come to. We see how Clef is a bit more open-minded and knows the potential consequences of what it can lead to. And I think the point of Dren is that it kind of acts like a little kid. At first, it kind of sees the world more like a kid does, but later on, we see how it starts to become more violent, more dangerous, as well as becoming a bit more adapted, which of course kind of comes with Clef and Elsa realising both the mistakes. And I think the point of Clef was meant to realise them, while Elsa was only meant to realise the fails of her plans, which I think was meant to be what it was. But I think the film's horror does work. I think it's kind of shown what could happen if we tamper with the genetics of animals and humans. And you can kind of tell the superiors, Joan and William, are actually right. They don't know the consequences of what things can lead to and the repercussions of what things can happen. So I think the film definitely has a good message. It knows what it wants to tell. It knows what the story is meant to be. And I think sometimes it's just best to leave things to what they are, and that we shouldn't really play God with human life, or any life for that matter. So I definitely think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. It's still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.